How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It's your favorite gay horror geek, Joby Snyder. And tonight, we are going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite horror movies that exists in the horror world. I think that this is such an important book, movie, story, um, piece of literature, piece of horror literature that exists in our world, um, and a very impacting element to what it was when it came out and what it is today. And we are talking about the 1976 classic horror film, Carrie. Carrie was released on November 3rd. It has a running time of 98 minutes. The budget for the film was 1.8 million, and the box office it grossed $33.8 million. And this movie is based off the novel by the great and amazing Stephen King. This was his first novel, and there's just so much to talk about in this movie. We have to talk about the cast, Sissy Spacek, and how amazing and fabulous she was in this role. We also get John Travolta in this film, and he's also great in the film. The character he plays is a shithead, and he does it so well. This movie really, I think, is important to us as horror fans because we can relate to the character of Carrie and how her life is so upside down when it comes to being the outcast at school and then being the outcast at home with her abusive religious mother. It's so much to pack in one life, one young life, and having to deal with the bullying and the abuse that she goes through, having her period for the first time and not knowing what that is because her mother never explained it to her because she's a religious nutcase, and her finding out in such a brutal way really leaves you wondering about how low humanity can be and how awful people can be to each other and to individuals that may not fit in with them. The important thing about this film is the fact that she's trying to find herself. She's trying to just exist in this world where people are mocking her and treating her like she's shit and like she's just like she has two heads or something. And becoming a woman, becoming a young woman and finding out what that means and finding out what a period actually is. And not only that, but she also is figuring out that she has a very special gift. Something that she doesn't understand and knows that nobody else will understand it. And she is doing research and she's trying to figure out what this is. And of course, you know the story. She has the gift of telekinesis, which means she can move things with her mind. And as she's learning about her power and learning about who she is, there's people on the one side that are wanting to help her and wanting to fix mistakes that they made in the past. And then there's other people that want to tear her down and humiliate her. So the character of Carrie gets asked to the prom by one of the popular boys that is dating the girl that really feels bad for Carrie and really wants to do something good for Carrie, like legitimately wants to do something good for her. And other people catch wind of it and they decide to pull a horrible prank, which we get to the prom night where Carrie actually goes with this boy and she's feeling like she belongs for the first time. She's feeling like She has a place in the world for a very brief moment. Um, well, it's rigged that they win prom king and queen, and she becomes prom queen. And as they're standing up on stage, the classic scene where they dump a bucket of pig's blood all over her. And she's humiliated, and it's humiliating, and she's starts to hallucinate and thinks everybody's laughing at her, and she's having memories of her mother and the abuse that she gets from her home life, and she snaps, and she doesn't realize that she is very powerful, and she uses power to her advantage, and she destroys the whole prom with the power that she has, with being able to move things with her mind. She just annihilates everyone in the prom, and it's the horror in this film. I would say takes a long time to get to because the climax is what happens at prom. But I happen to think that the horror starts from the very beginning, because how scary would it be to have to go to school or have to go to a facility with people that literally belittle you and push you around and make you feel like you're inadequate, and then having to go home and get that same abuse and that same treatment from somebody that you're supposed to be connected with and feel like you could go to with any kind of problem. Carrie really didn't have anybody except for the few people that were trying to do something nice for her. The prom scene is just a classic piece of horror history. The split shots and just the way that it was shot and the way that the lighting and everything about this scene is so well done, especially for its time. And this scene was done way before its time, I believe, and they do it so well, and the special effects are just absolutely so incredible to see on screen. You really can't look away. It's just an impacting scene of death and hurt and just seeing all of this unfold and seeing how powerful she is. And then after all that, needing some kind of reassurance that she is loved and she's not this monster that she just appeared to be and just was. She looks for that through her mother, who is psychotic and tries to kill her. So she has to go deep inside herself and actually do the same thing to her mother and stop her mother with her power. And that's horrifying. That's a horrifying situation to be in when you're so different and you have a gift that you don't understand and you really have nowhere to go. So she, unfortunately, the only path that she could take was violence and revenge. So I really feel like this is a very sad horror film, because you just feel for Carrie. You want her to go to the prom. You want her to be happy. You want her to dance, and you want her to have that smile. And once that is all taken away from her, and such a dramatic event, a dramatic piece of action done by other people, you're ready. You're ready for her. Look, okay, bitch, we know you got this power. It's time to use it. And she does in abundance. And it's really great. It's an amazing thing to see on screen. This film has been told in so many different ways. There's a musical. There's a 2001 remake. It was a made-for-TV remake of Carrie, and it's just as good and just as amazing. And there's also a 2013 remake of Carrie. And so you get all these different ways to see this story in different decades to see this story. It's just so incredibly wonderful to sit down and connect with this character. And I think that's what Stephen King wanted his readers and these fans to be able to do, is to be able to connect with this character, especially if you've been bullied, especially if you felt like the outcast and you don't feel connected with other people and you feel like you are pushed away by them. I think that Carrie is a stepping stone and such a great ideal, almost role model to look up to, because it's bullying is such a real thing. And I'm sure all of us that have been bullied feel like we might want to step on stage and pull some Carrie shit. I mean, it happens. I mean, violence is never the answer, but at the same time, when you're pushed so far and you're hurt so bad, there wasn't anything else Carrie could do. She was humiliated so badly, and she knew she had this up her sleeve. How could she not use it? Guys, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go and watch this wonderful horror film, Carrie. I do not believe that you will be disappointed. If you are a true horror fan, you have seen this movie already and you know what I'm talking about. This is a great rewatch. If you need something to put on in the background, or you want to show your friends, or you just want to watch a movie, you gotta go watch Carrie, guys. You will not be disappointed. And that is my opinion and how I feel about this movie, Carrie. And I hope you guys dig this movie. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you dislike it. Let me know how you feel about this classic horror film. And as always, I hope you guys stay safe, stay scared, and happy watching.